In one of the most devastating child neglect cases in recent history, the story of 2-year-old Zin Hershey from Indiana has shocked communities across the United States. The harrowing circumstances leading to her death have brought to light issues of neglect, irresponsibility, and the vulnerability of children in unsafe environments. This video examines the events surrounding Zin's death, the conditions in which she lived, and the ongoing legal proceedings against her parents. A call for help that came too late. On November 27, 2024, the Bern Police Department in Indiana received a 911 call from Jace Hershey, Zin's 23-year-old father. The call was a plea for assistance, but by the time emergency services arrived at the Swiss Meadows apartment complex, the situation was beyond salvation. Inside the apartment, medics and police encountered a grim scene that would haunt them for years to come. The residence, shared by Jace Hershey, 21-year-old Cynthia Perez, and their 3 children, was in a deplorable state. Investigators described the apartment as filthy, with trash strewn across the floors and signs of chronic neglect. The stifling heat in the main bedroom, where Zin's lifeless body was found, was immediately apparent. Deplorable living conditions. Court documents paint a disturbing picture of the environment in which the Hershey children lived. The main bedroom, where Zin was discovered, was filled with trash, including soiled diapers, empty pizza boxes, and torn paper plates. The crib in which Zin was found was no exception. It rested on a soiled mattress, surrounded by garbage and feces-stained floors. In the closet adjacent to the crib, a space heater had been left running, turning the small, enclosed area into what authorities described as an oven. The room's heat was palpable to the first responders. Using an infrared thermometer, investigators recorded alarming temperatures: 108.3 degrees Fahrenheit near the ceiling, 101.8 degrees Fahrenheit on the crib railing, and an unimaginable 109.5 degrees Fahrenheit on Zin's chest. Tragically, this extreme heat had caused the toddler's body temperature to rise to a fatal level. A timeline of neglect. According to statements provided by Cynthia Perez, the events leading to Zin's death began the evening before, on November 26, 2024. Perez admitted to placing Zin in the crib, located in the closet, at around 7:00 p.m. To combat the cold, a space heater was turned on, and the closet door was nearly shut. Perez and Hershey both remained at home the following day, but failed to check on Zin until after 3:00 p.m., approximately 20 hours after she had been placed in the closet. When they finally opened the door, it was too late. The intense heat from the space heater had caused fatal hyperthermia, leaving Zin's body darkly discolored and covered in red stains, with signs of severe physical stress. Despite her parents' eventual call for help, nothing could be done to save the little girl. Autopsy findings and legal proceedings. An autopsy confirmed that Zin's cause of death was hyperthermia, a condition caused by an abnormally high body temperature. The coroner determined that her body temperature had reached a staggering 109.5 degrees Fahrenheit. This tragic outcome was entirely preventable had her parents exercised basic care and vigilance. In response to these findings, both Perez and Hershey have been charged with 3 felony counts of neglect. These include neglect of a dependent resulting in death and neglect of a dependent involving their surviving children. If convicted, the couple could face up to 40 years in prison. The state of the apartment. The neglect extended beyond Zin. Authorities found the 2 other children living in equally horrifying conditions. Both were infested with lice, and their physical state suggested prolonged exposure to unhygienic and unsafe surroundings. The apartment, described as trashed, revealed the extent of the family's dysfunction. Piles of garbage, discarded food containers, and soiled diapers covered the floors. Investigators also noted roaches and fecal matter in various parts of the home. Such squalid conditions raise questions about how long these children had been subjected to such neglect. Neighbors and community members expressed disbelief, with many admitting they had no idea about the living situation behind closed doors. A pattern of neglect. This case does not appear to be an isolated incident of parental negligence. The state of the home and the condition of the surviving children point to a pattern of chronic neglect. It is unclear what factors contributed to Perez and Hershey's behavior, but their actions or lack thereof suggest a complete disregard for the well-being of their children. Experts emphasize that even under challenging circumstances, basic parenting involves providing a safe, clean, and nurturing environment. The failure to meet these fundamental responsibilities makes this case particularly troubling. Legal implications and challenges. The charges against Perez and Hershey reflect the severity of their actions. Neglect of a dependent resulting in death is one of the most serious charges under Indiana law. While no homicide charge is applicable in this case, the neglect charges carry significant weight, with potential sentences that could ensure the parents face justice. Former prosecutor and current defense attorney Serena Thompson highlighted the complexities of such cases. "This is the most extreme type of neglect," she explained. The conditions in the home, combined with the circumstances of the child's death, make it clear that these children were living in a torturous environment. Broader implications for child welfare. Zinn's death has reignited discussions about child welfare systems and the role of communities in preventing such tragedies. Neighbors often remain unaware of the conditions in which children live, but greater vigilance and community involvement could help identify at-risk families before tragedies occur. Child protection agencies must also address systemic issues that allow neglect to persist unnoticed. Zinn's surviving siblings have been placed in the custody of the Department of Child Services, where they will hopefully receive the care and support they were denied at home. Preventable tragedies and lessons learned. Cases like Zinn Hershey's are a sobering reminder of the consequences of neglect. Parents have an undeniable responsibility to ensure the safety and well-being of their children, and failure to do so can have devastating results. Simple actions, such as regularly checking on a child, maintaining a clean home, and avoiding dangerous practices like using space heaters in confined spaces, could have prevented Zinn's death. The role of law enforcement. As the investigation continues, law enforcement is piecing together the details of Zinn's short life. Search warrants have been issued to gather evidence from the apartment, including any signs of substance abuse or other contributing factors. Detectives are working to reconstruct the timeline and understand the couple's actions or inactions that led to this tragedy. A community in mourning. The tragic death of Zinn Hershey has deeply shaken her community, leaving a lasting impact of sorrow and outrage. Neighbors and friends are struggling to comprehend how such neglect went unnoticed, with many questioning how this could happen so close to home. Vigils and memorials have been held in her honor, highlighting the fragility of childhood and the urgency of protecting vulnerable lives. Local organizations and child advocacy groups are now pushing for systemic changes to prevent similar tragedies. Community education efforts aim to help people recognize and report signs of neglect, emphasizing the role everyone plays in safeguarding children. The case has also drawn attention to the critical need for improved child protection services. Zinn's surviving siblings, now in the care of child welfare services, are receiving the medical and emotional support needed to heal. The community is rallying to ensure these children have a chance at a better future. This heartbreaking case serves as a wake-up call, inspiring a collective commitment to protect children from harm and neglect. Moving forward, the Hershey case serves as a haunting reminder of the devastating consequences of child neglect. Zinn's story underscores the need for action at all levels: parental, societal, and institutional. Parents must prioritize their role as protectors, ensuring children grow up in safe and nurturing environments. For those struggling, access to parenting resources and community support is crucial. Communities must stay vigilant, with neighbors and educators reporting signs of neglect or abuse to save lives. Strengthening child welfare programs and offering parental education can help families create stable homes. Child protection agencies need adequate resources to act swiftly and prevent such tragedies. Zinn's death demands societal change. urging collective efforts to safeguard children. Let her story inspire action, ensuring no child endures such a fate again. And that's the heartbreaking story of little Zin Hershey, a tragic reminder of the importance of child welfare. If you found this video insightful, hit that like button and subscribe for more stories that matter. Let's keep spreading awareness together. See you in the next one.